question. Last week you had mentioned what the lesson says this week, which is the definition of grace in here, which is unmerited favor, which I disagree with, but I was wondering what you would say grace is.
No, so I'm glad you brought that up. So when you hear the term unmerited favor, how do you hear it?
We don't really deserve it. Wicked as we are, but God loves us.
Okay, so the way it's traditionally heard is very much like that, and so there's I think that leads to the false conclusion that we have very little value to God. Okay, and that and the way I understand grace, the actual word means more along favorable action. It has an action connoted with it, work of God. So everything God does for our salvation is an evidence of grace. Holding back evil powers, that's grace. Working in the heart, that's grace. Sending Jesus to be our Savior, that's grace. Discipline, the Lord disciplines those he loves. So those difficult times and during the difficult trials, it leads to character development, that's grace. Every act of God is an act of grace. Now, the question about the unmerited portion, I think that I don't use that language because that language comes from the mindset of imperialism and human law, buying, selling, earning, and so forth. It leads people down this line. There's an aspect to it that there's some truth to it if you understand it correctly, and this is how it's correct. We did not, if you want to use a medical model, we have a terminal condition, and we have a free remedy offered us, and we did not create or develop the remedy. It was given freely because of the one who loves us, developed it for us. That would be an act of grace to provide it on our part. Meriting it, in that sense, would be that we went out and we paid for it. We did the research. We developed the antidote. We built the lab. In other words, we did something that contributed to the solution. Thus, we merited the solution, or we earned it in some other way. We went off and did some great feat. In many of the pagan religions, you go off and do some great quest of some kind, and if you do the great quest, then that act of questing or whatever it is you did, that somehow earns then the beneficence of the deity and so forth. So the idea here that we didn't do anything, we receive it, but the idea that's false is that we don't deserve it in who we are. That's how it comes out. You're a worm. You're scum. You're so beneath the Lord. You know, that type of thing. So, but that's not true. We deserve because of who we are to God, not because of what we've done. And any parent who has a child who has gone into any type of, let's say, disobedience and got themselves in some type of harm, whether it's physical injury because they jumped off the barn roof and they said, don't jump off the barn roof, and they're crying with a broken leg or anything else, the parent doesn't say, you don't deserve my favor, okay? Because your conduct, you'll need to earn back my favor. There's none of that. Who they are, they deserve it. Their conduct certainly doesn't, but who they are does. And who they are is, you're my child and I love you. You deserve my intervention because of who you are. So I think that particular comment lends itself to creating aspects of the relation with God that undermine our trust and confidence in him. So I don't like that language.